Hey there guys, and welcome back to Alex Invest. As we can see, the markets are mixed today, and we were actually pretty green this morning and we came into the mixed level. And I think the reason for this is delay in stimulus. I mean, we can see if we look at sort of the charts here, right? We can see these dips down in almost every stock here, and this is from the news that stimulus was delayed here, or might be delayed, right? And there might be a bit of rocky road up until we truly see the stimulus come out. And then that's actually where I bought Renesola right down here as well. But we can sort of note how every stock had this dip, and that's because that delay in stimulus, right? And just that shows us how dependent the stock market currently is on stimulus, on, you know, continued 0% interest rates, right? And this is definitely somewhat of a issue here and a problem, right? I mean, we haven't seen these kind of gains in the stock market for a long time, really, and this quickly, right? And a big reason, as we can see, for this is that stimulus money coming in constantly, right? And of course, Biden with his new clean energy initiatives, that's why our green tech stocks have been doing so well, right? And it's not normal. You know, we're making money off of it right now, but we also have to be careful for the future, because say we don't get another stimulus check, then we will see sort of a bigger dip down here in all stocks, especially with these insanely high valuations that we're seeing on pretty much all stocks across the board. So for now, it's good. We're making money, but do have to be a little bit careful. Anyways, today I wanted to stick with our clean tech green energy companies here, right? And we're going to look at OPTT again and OEG as well, because these are two that have been doing very well, and I want to go through what I'm going to do next here. I also want to tell you guys some of the stocks that I bought this morning. First of all, as I already mentioned, I bought Renesola this morning. I bought a little bit more Very Good Foods this morning, and Sun Hydrogen I wanted to buy this morning, but unfortunately my US cash hasn't transferred over to my US cash account yet, and for that reason I couldn't actually purchase any shares there. So that's kind of the trades that I made this morning. Anyways, let's get into OPTT here first, right? And we'll start with the chart here. And first, as we can see again here, the big dip down from delays in stimulus, right? The news there, and we come back up, right? And we can see how dependent Ocean Power Technologies here is on this stimulus and on these green tech deals that are hopefully going to be coming out to Ocean Power and to our other stocks here. And, you know, if we zoom out here just a little bit, you know, we bought this stock back kind of around this level here at sort of the 19th, 18th, maybe around. This run here is not normal, of 134% in the last basically week and a half, you know? And sure, we've come down a bit now to up 113%, but these kind of gains aren't normal, and it does worry me kind of for what is to come in some of these stocks, you know? And that's why we're going to take a look at some of the things in OPTT, and if the run really here is fully justified. I said this was going to happen, and I do see the run continuing, but there's some worries here that we have to keep in mind, right? This could all turn around really quickly. We can see revenues actually come down quarter by quarter here, you know. In the most recent quarter, we've seen 118,000 in revenue, and the quarter before that it was 169,000, and the quarter before that it was 551,000, right? So we're coming down here, which isn't good to see, but what is nice to see, again, our cost of revenue is coming down, right, in the last 2 quarters. But again, 3 quarters ago here, right, which is their quarter 4, fiscal quarter 4, right, we can see that their cost of revenue is actually lower than their revenue here. So that's a really good sign, but we're not seeing the scale in these numbers, right, to be able to see that cost of revenue actually be less than our revenues here. And to get that, you know, I think we need to have sort of this scale and have a little bit more revenue coming in than these last 2 quarters. It's definitely something to keep in mind when you're investing in this one, right? And I personally would not be picking up any shares at the current price of 584, right? It is high, and although I do see the price continuing to run, we could quite easily come down as well here. So, you know, I had some cash and I decided not to pick up more OPTT here because of some of these reasons, right? But again, I am holding what I have, and I'm letting sort of that money just ride, because I do still think with sort of Biden, the clean energy wave, we're going to see the stock continue to go up with all these other stocks as well. But let's take a look at their balance sheet here for a second too, right? They do have 15 million in cash here, right? So they can survive for a long time on this cash, especially because of sort of some of their operating expenses here, right? And we can see here accounts payable came down, right? But notes payable actually came up quite a bit from last quarter here. Again, accrued expenses as well came up a little bit here. And in total, we're seeing our current liabilities almost $1 million more than last quarter. But I do still see this one kind of continuing the growth, like I said here. But, there's something else to note about that, and that's kind of investing in the stock market in general right now, and how interesting and strange it is compared to usual, right? Because we're seeing these hundreds and hundreds of percents growth in weeks here, and that usually doesn't happen, right? You don't see 32, 40, 50% in a day. That is something that everybody needs to keep in mind here, and that a reversal could happen quite quickly. Although, again, I don't see it coming for a while, and this is something I mentioned in my video yesterday as well. Again, you can go check that out up here. But investing in the stock market these days, right, is all about hype, really. If one stock gets some traction and gets a lot of news out on the internet, then all of a sudden the stock price starts to skyrocket because everybody starts to talk about it, right? And all of this. And a great example of that recently is GameStop, right? We saw a Wall Street Bets thread where everyone was saying, let's buy GameStop, and sort of cause a short squeeze here. And everybody bought GameStop, and all of a sudden the stock went from, $22 or $40 all the way up to over $100 in a matter of days, right? And so we really are in a new age of investing, in a new age of the internet here, where things happen very, very quickly, and stocks can gain traction really in days. So right now, in the current environment in the stock market, I think anybody could pick a random stock out of 100 and likely make money on that opportunity. So I do try and find the best picks for you guys, of course, as always, but I also want you guys to realize that right now the stock market is very different than what it usually is like, and what it's been like for me, especially over the last, 6 or 7 years that I've been investing. It's never been about hype as much as it is now. And then I also wanted to talk about Orbital Energy Group with you guys quickly here, right? And we can see we had this huge jump up here this morning, and we're up 35% today, and we've been up 35% every day for a while here now. If we zoom out here a little bit, we can kind of see where we started off, right around here is where I first picked up the stock, right? And we can see we're up kind of 240-ish% here, and this is really only the beginning of 2021 here, so not even a month, and we've made 230% on this stock. That is not normal, guys, at all here. I just want to make that very, very clear. But, I do see them set for growth still, and I do see this kind of continuing an upward trend. The reason, again, is Biden and all of his clean energy money here that he's looking to spend, right? But if we take a look at OEG's income statement here, we can see how much better it is than what we're seeing with Ocean Power Technologies here, right? We've got really, really healthy revenues here, and what's again great to see is their increase in revenue right here, right? We went from 7.78 million last quarter to almost 14 million this quarter. And again, we're making a profit here as well. And not only that, but our cost of revenues are also coming down. So everything here is in favor of OEG here, and that's why I think this stock specifically is going to keep going up, right? I mean, we can see sort of the difference here in 3 quarters ago compared to 2 quarters ago. That isn't as significant of a difference as what we're seeing sort of in these 2 last quarters here, right? So if you're going to pick up one of these 2 companies, I would say OEG is the better company to pick up. Ocean Power Technologies is good, and we could see them continuing to run, yes, but they're also much more risky than OEG here, and we can see that through these financials here. And again, sure, they don't have much cash here, $4 million, right? But look at their accounts receivable, almost $19 million. With everything else, their total current assets come to $37 million, which is fantastic, with total assets at 78 million. And yes, their total liabilities are going up, but they are still growing a lot here. And sure, we're up 38% on the day. If you're going to pick up this stock, maybe wait for a bit of a pullback here. I mean, we can see even Ocean Power Technologies, right? The pullback we saw here, if we go to the 1 minute, we saw it come down all the way down to here. And we're starting to come back up again, right? And we could see something similar with OEG as well. And that's why I would wait for them to come down here a bit. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the video today. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment as always. And other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.